By the end of this video, you will have a single memory, permanent memory, that any AI agent can use it. And this memory will contain every detail of your business, who you are, your client is, everything. So before we build that memory, let me show you why you actually need it. If we come right now into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT a basic question. Hey, ChatGPT, what is my business? What call it my business? If you see here, right now ChatGPT answer us. He telling me, hey, your business call it inner-sizze, okay? You are AI automation agency. Okay, great. That is a basic information. Okay, I'm gonna ask him a specific information. I wanna ask you how much of money I have spent in last month, how much of proposals I need to, like send in this week, or how much I sent and still is pending, and what is like our financial situation right now. I just give him this specific thing, and he says like he doesn't know. I can calculate it, like to answer those questions accurately. Some numbers right now I don't have any access. You see, he doesn't have any access of those information, and that is the actual problem right now. If I want to go in Claude Code, let's say I'm being used in this like Claude, ChatGPT too many times, and I want to just change it to new, new model. Why we're using Claude? If I want to go Claude, I need to transfer my all conversations I had. When I go in Claude Code, I tell him, hey, when I want to go in Claude Code, I tell him, hey, this is me, this is what I do, and I need to explain myself, and that is hurts. And that's why people been stuck and never change any model to another model in order to see what this model actually capable of. So today we're going to solve that problem. Here it's what ChatGPT actually doing. Okay, first of all, let me understand. ChatGPT, what it does is gonna take all this conversation and then summarize it and then save it. Okay. And then that's why he knows my business, but he doesn't know actually what is happening in my business. Even, let us say, if he has an idea and knows exactly based on the information and the conversations we had, if he knows this data, we cannot access it because this data is being saved by ChatGPT server. And that's the problem. We should have the right to access our data. So what we're going to do we're gonna create a permanent memory, and then this permanent memory, any AI agent can use it. Whoever he is, he can use it, and when we ask him question, he can answer us those questions. And also here it is what actually it look like. Right now I'm gonna tell the Claude Code to remember something. After that I'm going to use another model. Using that model, we should retrieve the data we are saved right now. Okay, first of all, we're going to run this command, call it remember, and then after we run this command, everything we give it right now is going to be saved by our permanent memory. There was a client, actually I talking to him and we talked today. So the client needs N8N and also needs to be integrated with his CRM. So the budget that client right now has, it is $2,000. We're just gonna save it, send it. I'm going to use another model in order to retrieve that information. Okay, great. Right now I'm going to use this model, call it Codex. I want you to see what we have done in last week, how much of clients need to be followed up or needs to be, to create them like projects. If you see here, I didn't say the same words because what he doing he gonna search by meaning. Okay, he doesn't search the exact words I use it. So we're just gonna wait. So right now he says he wanna take some kind of actions because he discovered he has ability to go and search in our brain what actually we mean that. So what actually happened, it is like I told him, hey, because he was somehow confused, I told him, hey, use Supabase brain in order to get the data. And then he come back here, you talk with client today, and then he tell me, hey, it's an N8 integration with CRM and the budget it is $2,000. Even though it's one model, we just little bit to have to fight with him and tell him, hey, use that, like we use in Supabase, so use it. So, but you can see how much of context I needed in order to get the data I want, Now, let me explain what actually happening. So, if you come here, every AI you talk to it, he has something called it, every conversation you have AI is gonna be saved by something called a context window. Context window, actually, it is a fancy way of saying, hey, you have a whiteboard. For example, this is the example I use always. It is an analogy. It is like, hey, you give in your AI something called it, here it is you, so, and here it is your AI, especially it is the AI itself. So you tell him, hey, this is the context window. Actually, it is a conversation you had with the AI. So you in the whiteboard, actually you type him something like that, x plus y, it is equal like z or something like that. And AI, when he sees this context, he knows who you are, and then he can respond to your requests. Okay, but the problem what happens is if you somehow close this window, or let us say you delete all this, like conversations you have right now, AI has an actual problem. He doesn't know actually who you are. If you ask him a question, hey, what does that mean? He says, hey, I don't know nothing, because the context window or the whiteboard, it is being like removed everything. So how people figured out that problem to solve? So what actually people did, actually, it is to create something called CLAUDE.md. It is actually giving your AI agent a files of who you are, what it contains, and everything. And those files is being loaded. Those files being loaded before you even start a conversation with your AI agent. Okay, and then he knows. And then when you ask him something, hey, tell him, hey, what does that mean? He can answer you directly. The problem we have in this CLAUDE.md files, they are like a cheat sheet. They can get easily in 300 lines, like this. This is the best, I think, demonstration of this example. It is like you see here. All of these things, it could be a context window. It could be a CLAUDE.md. So a lot of people, they do something really smart by when you're using your Claude Code. If I come to here, let me just close this thing. If I come to here, people, what they do, it is context management by dividing those lines into chunks. So by other files like this file, this file, this file, this file, rather than just inputting all this, if you see here, all these files by putting them in one line. Okay. But still, we have the problem. Also, the problem of when it comes about like files of CLAUDE.md, it is always AI. What it does, it is there's something called a compacting. Always they do, the AIs, every AI agent to do. It is when the session or the context window, the whiteboard gets full, AI is gonna do summarization. It's gonna summarize everything in order to know that thing and then create a new session. What it does is gonna create a new session, means new context window is gonna create, and then hey, summarize all those lines into only these two lines. Okay, the problem that thing has, it is, this is the problem. AI is gonna start, first of all, you're gonna start in conversation by knowing you everything. So after you go deep in the project, the AI, what it's gonna do is it's gonna declare. It's gonna lose some details because of the summarization. It's gonna lose, and then he knows the recent thing. So first of all, he knows when the conversation started and what you needed, and also the recent things. But the most important detail is being lost in here. That's what it lost. The compacting problem. The problem also CLAUDE.md files had, it is no other AI agent can use. Only Claude AI or Claude Code is the one who is able to use it. If I try right now, here it is like maybe, let's say here it is a ChatGPT or maybe a Codex, ChatGPT or Codex. I want him to use this CLAUDE.md file. He cannot use it, even though they are trying to develop MD files that always allow Codex to use it. But right now, still we have this mess The problem, it is not the AI is dumb. The problem, it is we do not have a permanent memory that is central, memory that is central, that any AI agent can just plug in, any AI agent we use can just plug this context and he will get and really enriched data, relevant data for that memory. That is what we're going to build today. First of all, we're going to build a window text. Here, let's say it is our window text. We're gonna type here something, type any text, and then we will have a tiny, I call a tiny program. This is our tiny program. What actually this tiny program actually does, it is we're gonna click and call this tiny program, and this tiny program actually does three things. First of all, he has, he take your text we have typed here and change and try to see their meaning, okay, their meaning, and also it's gonna save the text, and also the place is going to save those texts. It will be a database, okay, database we have. After that, what will happen, it is actually we're going to ask question, okay, we're gonna ask any question we have, and that what will happen, it is AI is going to search by meaning, okay, search the meaning of what we ask it, and then is going to give us an answer. So that is actually the more bigger picture that we're going to really create today. So let me go step by step. First of all, here we have our chart, okay, let me just zoom in. First of all, here it will be something called, technically we call, like this tiny program, we call a edge function. It's called let me say here, it's called edge function, okay. Is the guy who going first of all trying to save by meaning plus text. What actually mean we're going to save by meaning plus text? What actually that mean? Actually mean is is going to take this text, it's gonna take this text, then convert this text into numbers, okay, by meaning. Is going to convert them by numbers, and this whole process of converting those things is called embedding. And you know what, even Google use it. So right now, let me search something. Let me tell you, if you type Google something, like right now I want to type Apple, okay, so if I type Apple, let me just say to you where I can buy Apple. If I type where I can buy Apple, he going to give me the company itself. You see, he's going to give me the company website. What actually doing Google, it is like what we have talked, is going to take your text, not just the text, and then try to get the meaning. What do you actually mean? What do you actually mean? This text, and actually those meaning, it is just the numbers, it's just the numbers. So if I told right now how I can make apple bee recipe, it's going to give me the apple bee recipe. That is why he actually knows, because he doesn't just match the text as we said previously. So that's what we're going to use. Whenever we thought something, we don't want it to remember those exact words we have used it, rather we wanted to remember what actually we mean, okay. And that is what we call it embedding. So in order to store this embedding thing, in order to store it, you have to use something also called it BS vector. BS vector, it is what is going first of all allow you to store these numbers, and also then you can use it in vector, BS vector, in order to search the meaning. It's the one who going to store and search, okay. I hope we understand it. Okay, you can ask the question of what this actually database actually also mean. The database actually means our data is being stored by table. Okay, let me just show to you. Table, it is actually contains these lines, you know, and then we have here this lines. So here we have something called a column. Here we have a column, and here we have, you know, like these are columns and these are rows. That is how our data is being stored, and we're going to use also a cloud server called Supabase. Supabase is actually what allow us to store those tables. It's the one who going to host all those tables. Right now, I hope you understand it, what I mean. Those are technical terms we're going to use later. So I want you to understand whenever I say, hey, Supabase, means I mean this. When I say database, actually, I mean those tables and columns, okay? Second thing, it is after we ask questions, is going to search the meaning. In order to search the meaning, our AI agent needs something called MCP, Model Context Protocol. It is a fancy way of giving AI instructions. You know, like you're gonna give him some kind of a spreadsheet or paper of instructions how to use like let's say a program. Okay, right now I want to train my AI how to use let us say any program. For example, let me just remember any example and take it. I want to give him how to use my CRM, okay, or train my AI how to use a WhatsApp, or maybe Supabase itself. It's this program. I want him to train how to use it. So he needs this MCP, means instructions that he can follow the best use cases, how you can use it in this platform. That's what actually it means. So you just need to give your AI that ability. Some people say skills. So that's what is MCP it is. After that, you're gonna get your answer. I hope right now you see the full picture. You see all what we're going to do. Right now, enough theory, let's go and build. First of all, we're gonna type Supabase. Okay, after you put in your Supabase, you enter, this is where it's gonna bring you the dashboard of Supabase. So right now we're gonna tell him, hey, start our project, and then we're gonna come here. Okay, so in order to sign up, we need an email. Okay, so that's where we're going to put our email, and then we're gonna put a password. Then we're gonna say sign up. After that, he says, yeah, you check your email confirmation. We're gonna check our email. We see here, we say confirm the email. We're gonna confirm the email, and then we're going to start our organization. So what actually organization it is, right now he give me the application. I don't want to go into application. I want to come to here. So what actually organization it is, always it is the biggest, you know, like party. And then inside this organization, we have a project, this project, this project, this project, you know. So right now we're going to create this organization. Inside this organization, we create multiple projects. Okay. So I'm going to say personal, it is a free, you don't pay anything. Then we say create the organization itself. You have to create here your database password. I'm going to create that password and then say, hey, save, create the password. Then he's gonna bring us this table. So right now what we're going to do, it is to create our schema. Okay, we're gonna come here first of all into here, and then we're gonna create something called a schema. This is actually what all of these are schemas. You're asking what schema actually mean. A schema actually mean, imagine you are inside a room, you know, let's say you are inside this room, and this room has the table is here. Here we have the table. We put a lot of things there. This room it itself, we call it schema. And this table, it is where you put your information. And specifically this information, these little bit dots are your data. I hope you understand it. That's what actually a schema mean. So right now we're going to create first of all our schema. We're going to use SQL. Okay, we're just gonna put here the code I provided in the description. After we run this code, it should say success, no row is returned. Then we can go our table itself, and then here we have the memory itself. Okay, this memory really generated a multiple columns. We have here a multiple columns. If you see, we have a text, we have an embedding, means the numbers that we're going to generate the meaning. We have type, topic, and people, and then we have an action items, and also the source itself. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, we're gonna go into our right now. After we created our table, we need to create the edge function, the tiny program that will call this and save and store everything. And here it is. You're gonna come here, you see the tiny program called it edge function. You're gonna click there. After you click it, you're gonna come here. It's gonna bring you here. Then we're gonna say, hey, deploy a new function. Okay, we're gonna tell him, hey, use via editor. Here also we're gonna give it a code. Okay, first of all we're gonna delete this code, and then we're gonna come back and also give it call. So this is the code. Also, don't worry, this code also it's available in the description. You can take it from there. After we do that, we're gonna say, hey, deploy function, means we're gonna upload our program into the cloud itself. That's what we call deploy function. Okay, we're gonna say, hey, upload it. Right now, what we need to do, first of all, we have here end URL. That URL we need it. We come back to later, but what actually this function actually doing right now? Let me just explain it. This function we created right now doing three things. First of all, it's gonna do three things. First of all, he going to take your he gonna take the text, send it to OpenAI. OpenAI is going to embedding means is going to change this text itself into meaning numbers. You know, if we talk it's gonna change into meaning numbers. Second thing that this function actually does, it is he going also to call Claude Code or Cloud. Is going to call Claude Code, take the text itself, and then extract the text, the columns we have in our table. First column was the type, second column was the, I think it was also people, also was the other type was the source, and then we have the item actions. This is the guy who going to extract it, and then what actually this code, all of these things, two things, calling to embedding and also calling to a Claude Code, they happen in parallel. What's actually parallel means, rather than AI just doing this thing to another thing and then to another guy, what he doing right now it is, let me just clean everything. What he doing it is, rather than just waiting, we do a parallel. Parallel means AI is going to send this code to first of all OpenAI. Sorry for my typing. And then also is going to send a Claude Code. Okay, Claude Code, and then it's gonna retrieve the data. You know, it's gonna merge those data and then retrieve those data. So that's what it's doing. And then this call function itself is the one who going to store to our memory. Is the one who going to store our memory. I hope you understand how important this call function is. So after we created our call function, we need to come here also. If you see here, we need to come here, what you call it, as secrets. Okay, this is the place we're going to put our OpenAI API key, and also we're going to put Anthropic API key. I use Anthropic. You can use even API key itself 2 times in order to do the embedding and also to extract the types and everything from the text itself. So right now I'm using a cloud. Okay, I'm using 2 different models. So what you do actually is, first of all, I'm gonna go into OpenAI platform. You're gonna type OpenAI platform, and then you're gonna go into platform itself. After that, you're gonna come here. Actually, if you see here, we have top of my head API docs, not API docs, API dashboard. Let's go. After you go API dashboard, you're gonna come here, and then after you click that little bit setting, you're gonna come here into API keys. Okay, after that you will have all your API keys. Right now I created multiple API keys. Just create API, type a name like memory or something like that, and then just click to default project and then create that project. Right now you see that API key. I'm going to delete it after we finish this course. No way you can get this API. Okay, after that we're going come back to our edge function call here, open k. We give the value here, and then we just hit save. Okay, so we hit save. Right now we need to go into Anthropic itself. Let me go Anthropic platform, and then go here and also grab the API key of our Anthropic. So after that we're going to come here also this part. Okay, we're gonna take this API key, we're gonna click it, and then also we're going to create the API key itself, default name memory or memory extractor, we can say it. We're gonna add, then we're gonna copy it. Also we're gonna come back to our function and say here Anthropic API okay, give the value here, save it. Okay, right now we are created our functional, our edge function thing. Okay, right now we're gonna come back to our, let's say you using, I hope you're using Claude Code. We're gonna come back to Claude Code. We're gonna start a new fresh conversation. Okay, after that you have to use always I use something called, if you come here, I use .env. Actually what .env mean, if you come here, you see here, it is like a file that is hidden, no one can read it. That is where you actually put your all API keys. Let me just show to you how it look like. Also I will pull up my API keys. Okay, if you see here, it is all your API keys. Okay, also here it is where you're going to put your project URL. And what is project URL? It is like you're gonna go, you wanna reference everything here. You're gonna go to your Supabase, come back to here setting, then you're gonna grab this URL. Okay, you have here this URL, so you're going to grab that URL and then come back to here, and then just you don't need anything, you just say Supabase URL equals past your URL, because Claude Code or any AI agent needs that URL in order to connect your database. Then you're gonna come back to here, and then you're gonna take your API key. Okay, you're gonna take a legacy nano surface. This is like your API key that you're going to use whenever you wanted to connect to this specific database. Okay, right now let me just copy it and then give it to my AI. Here it is also, we're gonna come to that env, come back to here, and then say Supabase public unknown key. Right now we saved everything. Okay, after that we're going to create something called, because we created our env, and we have here all you should have the URL, you should have the Supabase public unknown key, and those are the two things will allow your AI to connect to the server itself. Okay, right now what we're gonna do, it is you should have also, there's a third file you should have that call it add function. This is a MCP server. Okay, all this code is available in the description. This is a MCP server that allows, as we talked about, your AI agent to connect the server itself. Okay, right now AI agent has this Supabase edge function, and right now we're going to tell him, hey, connect this data, create a connection between you and also our server. Okay, also one little thing I really forget it, it needs also your endpoint. Do you remember, if we come here, you remember when we were creating our edge function, we have this code. Okay, we have this endpoint. Okay, this endpoint, this is the endpoint. You're gonna right now copy that endpoint, okay, and also you're going to put that endpoint into your .env. You can say here endpoint edge function URL. Right now we establish it, we have our MCP, we have our environment, and put our credential. Right now what I can ask it is, hey Claude Code, if you know, I have added a new credentials into my .env for the video, so please right now create connection using Supabase edge function, create connection to our organization or our memory table. Okay, so right now if you see here, it working, it created, but also you need to close your Claude Code IDE in order to make Claude Code use the MCP we created. Right now let me just close it right now. After I close it and then run it again, VS Code, open it. Okay, I want you to save our notice. Okay, here it is, my notice. Today I have talked two clients, two of them needs different automations. One automation was lead scribing, and the client name it is Muhammad, and also this client, what I think it is like it's a high ticket client. Also we have another client that also need a Google Sheet, spreadsheet, intelligence, and we should create this thing. I want you to save this data into my Supabase memory. Right now is going to save in Supabase memory. What you can do is you can create what you call here, if you come here, you can create Migrate.py. You can ask your Claude Code or any application you're using, hey, create a Migrate.py, and this Migrate.py, what it's gonna take, it's going to go your files, all the files you have in your documents, and then it's gonna junk them down. It's gonna junk them down, and he is the one who going to upload and load all those files into your Supabase. Right now he says, hey, I created the thing, let me just see it. If we come to our database, our table itself, and our data, it is living in here. Right now this will be your permanent memory, everything you need. Also if you see here, he doesn't call the embedding. I don't know why he didn't call the embedding, even though we have the embedding itself. Let me just go, because this is sometimes the error, it comes here into our saving. We have open API and Anthropic. Also I tell him, sorry that the camera went off. Okay, now one of the problems I really figured it out, it is like our AI agent, if we go here in our VS Code, there's a problem, there's an issue, and that issue actually was, right now he saved it, but the issue we have, if we go into our project itself and come here, you see our table. Let me just go to table. We don't have any embeddings. Okay, that means the secret code in each function it's not working. This secret code is not working, so there's something wrong. We could tell him, hey, use embedding. So let me just tell him that I have figured out. Let me use VS Code. Let me use Whisper. I have figured out when I go to the database, new database, I cannot see the embedding. There is no numbers in embedding, and that means you cannot search meaning when I tell you to search a meaning in the database. So fix that. So this model is really they become a good when it comes about. They can right now fix. You just tell them the problem, and they are the one who are going to take it and fix it. They have their embedding. You see, that is the embedding actually what it means, this number. So yeah, that is how you can create your permanency. After you create your permanency, I have told you one more thing was you can use a migrate the type. You don't need your all files to put them in manually. Just tell your AI agent, whatever it is, tell him to create a migrate.by and then insert all the files you need into the database. I don't always ask, but if it is helpful, just subscribe, and thank you for your time. Catch you next time.